So there seems to be this issue. Well, I mean, it's not a new issue. It's a long-lasting issue. Men versus women. It's been happening for like the past 20 years. And women just don't seem to understand how they are the problem at all. Like it's like a prisoner, somebody that's in prison. He committed a bunch of crimes. He murdered people and he's in prison bitching about how he's being treated in prison. You murdered people. That's why you're in prison. All of your choices led you to this situation. Um, that's why life sucks for you. Uh, and women are the same way. And women seem to today bitch about men a hell of a lot more. Like it's weird for like women spend all of their time looking into a mirror or looking into their phone while doing their makeup and everything. So they have mirrors, but they don't see themselves at all. It's always somebody else's fault. Their choices in life are always somebody else's fault. The bad things that happen to them are always somebody else's fault. I'm sorry to tell you this, internet, but every woman claims that they were raped, and I guarantee none of them were. The amount, like 16%, maybe at the most, have been raped. And that's worldwide. That's not even in America. That's worldwide. Maybe at the most 16%, and that includes countries where they just rape bitches and there's no like laws against it, like because the dads in those countries go out and kill the motherfuckers that raped his daughter because there's no laws against it, and the only person that's going to enforce the law is the dad. And then when you get to America, it ain't even that high. It's not a thing that happens on a constant fucking basis. Yes, it happens. It's tragic. It fucking sucks, and it should never happen. But almost 100% of all of the women I've ever met are like, somebody sexually assaulted me. Well, only one of them ever provided me with paperwork. And I didn't ask for the paperwork. She just said, here's the paperwork from my dad. My biological father molested me. Here's the paperwork from all the court cases. I think you should read it before we continue to date. She was dope. That is like that made me love her more. It sucks that we couldn't get along in the long run, but yeah, she trusted me with that information and provided it for me. You got too many women out there claiming they were raped and every and then also going online and calling guys creeps in the gym and talking shit about men and men are nothing, men suck. And then you got the same women that say how men are fucking trash, also complaining that men never help them. Why would I help? Why would I go out of my way to help a strange woman? What is. You're not my wife. I'm not fucking you. There's no benefits to me helping you at all. There's a lot of negatives because you could go online and call me a creep. Shoot, you might be recording me, post it online, call me a creep. Why the fuck would I want to help you? There's no fucking benefit to me to helping you. And I want to tell a story proving that. I think it's a funny story. Women might not, guys might. But the other day I went to, because I moved to the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Pennsylvania. I'm from California originally. And I went to the Dollar Tree. No, it was a Dollar Tree, a dollar store or whatever. Yeah, I think it was a Dollar Tree. Uh, it definitely wasn't the Family Dollar, but I went in there to grab some soda because it's cheaper there than anywhere else. And uh, when I walked outside, was an elderly gentleman sitting there at a table selling fruits that he grew on his property. He had a sign that said red berries on it. Didn't know what a fucking red berry was. He taught me that a red berry is a strawberry, and that's just what they call them out here. And I thought that was funny as fuck because I was like, everybody else in the world calls them strawberries, and like out here you call them red berries. All right, man, whatever. But I had a good conversation with the dude because he was a fucking Navy vet and told me about his service. Great conversation. I'm handicapped and I walk with a cane. So in one hand I had a cane and in the other hand I had my groceries from and I was walking out to the street to go back to the area I needed to be in to catch the bus because they don't have like a bus out here like they do in a city where there's like no, the bus picks you up at the stated destination that you told them to pick you up at. You have to be there. There's no bus stops. There isn't a bus that comes by every 5 minutes, goes by. No, it's a special bus. It's a short bus because I live in the middle of nowhere. And while I'm walking through the parking lot, there's this lady who, even though she was about a foot and a half shorter than me, was probably 3 times my size still. And in one hand, she had a baby that was probably 2 times my size because it was a fat fucking baby. And she's putting her groceries into the back of her fucking trashy ass rusted car. And as I'm walking by, just ignoring her, doing my own thing, I hear, "Hey!" And I stop and I look around. I was thinking maybe the old man, he was like trying to yell at me, and his voice fucking went up like 5 notches. And I look over, and nope, he ain't yelling at me, but he's looking at me. And then I look over my other shoulder, and it's this uh, whale of a woman. "Hey, can't you see me struggling here? Why don't you help?" And I said, "Okay, I'll help. Put your baby in his car seat. That way you have both arms." And then I hear laughing from behind me. So, man, he's laughing his ass off already. She's like, "That's not what I mean. Come over here and please help me put my groceries in my trunk." And I was like, "Ma'am, I am walking with a cane, and then I have my groceries in my other hand. I can't even lift your baby legally. I am disabled. How do you want me to help? Do you want me to supervise?" And she's like, "No, the very least you could do is help me put some of these bags in my trunk so I can get out of here quickly." And I was like, "All right, ma'am, I'll help. Lift with your knees, bitch." And then I heard laughing again. And I look over my shoulder, and the Navy vet is rolling. He is laughing his ass off. He's like, "No, hell no, you didn't, boy. Hell no, you didn't." Laughing his ass off. And I look over at her, and I go, "If you need help that bad, call your husband." And she was like, "I got rid of him 2 months ago." And I was like, "Well, like, I ain't him, and that's not my problem. I gotta go catch the bus. Like, what have you offered me?" And she's like, "I shouldn't have to offer you anything for you to help me." I didn't have anything to say after that because I didn't want to get into that conversation. Like, I didn't want to get to the point where she's like, "Fine, I'll suck your dick," or "Fine, I'll," like, because I'm not attracted to manatees. So I just kind of looked at her and was like, "I gotta go catch my bus," and just kept walking. Keep hearing this Navy vet laughing his fucking ass off. That bitch put herself in a situation where she's a single mom going out grocery shopping. She ain't struggling for food. She has a car, and I'm guessing that she has a place to go and live. And instead of putting her kid in the car seat so she has both free hands to be able to load her groceries, she's going to hold her kid and yell at me, a handicapped man, about how she needs help. That is what's wrong with women today. This bitch is a manatee. She she acts like she doesn't own a fucking mirror and that every man should drop everything that he's doing, even if he I could have been in a wheelchair and I'm pretty sure that bitch would have yelled at me about me not helping her. She thinks she's fucking special. None of y'all are. You're not fucking special. None of you. You're a plague on mankind because you listen to each other about how you go to other women to find out how to get a man. It's the wrong person to ask. You should probably ask your dad. "Hey, dad, how do I attract a man?" Your dad's going to tell you right away. You don't need makeup. You don't need fucking special clothes, high heels. You don't need any of that shit you're spending your money on. Just be nice, civil, understanding, appreciative. Like, that's all a man fucking wants. Oh, sane. A sane woman. That's all a man wants. He doesn't want some bitch that has to dress up, put on fucking 10 pounds of makeup, make sure that her girls look good in her dress. Guys don't care about that shit. If a guy loves you, you could walk around with no makeup, in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and he's still like, "There's my girl." You need to fucking cook, clean, fucking. You cannot not have a job, live in a man's house, and bitch about how he doesn't help you. Like I said, I'm handicapped. I don't have a job. I own my own house. If a woman wants to date me, she can't come into my house that I own, that I paid with cash. She can't come into my house and bitch about how I don't do anything around the house. I built this house, like all the furniture, everything. I've been taking care of it long before you showed the fuck up. So you can't bitch about that. And if you do, pack your shit and get the fuck out. You can't come in here and get mad if I expect you to do shit to earn your keep because I didn't need you before you moved in, and I'm not going to need you after you leave. If I'm already taking care of myself and my home and my property, you moving in and living with me is not going to change that dynamic in my mind ever. Ever. You are going to have to fucking learn to fucking deal. And if you can't, I have a front door and a back door. Pick which one you want to lock the fuck out of. Because you are not ever doing me any favors. The only reason you are allowed in my house is because I enjoy your company. Period. And if you want to live with me, then yeah, I expect you to clean up after yourself. Yeah, I expect you to cook. If you have a job and you go off and do it, fine, whatever. Don't come home and bitch at me because I didn't cook for you. This is my fucking house. Period. Done and done. Doesn't work that way, ladies. Now, if I was at your house, then yes, you could be like, hey, get your handicap ass up, do the dishes, fucking cook for me. While if I was in your house, I'd, yeah, no problem. I got it fucking worked out for you. And you wouldn't even have to ask me because that's what a good guest does. They clean up after themselves, they help out with the chores, they cook to show their appreciation that they're being a good guest. That's what a good guest does. You bitches just think it's supposed to be like automatic even when you're the guest somewhere. Nah, no, nope, nope, nope. You're the guest. You don't get to just sit in my couch, lay in my bed, look at me in my house and go, well, aren't you going to cook me something? The kitchen's over there. You are more than welcome to go through my food. I've got plenty of it. If you find something to cook, help yourself. I have all the pots and pans and everything. This is not my job to be your father or mother or your parent. If you are a big girl, use your big girl voice and your big girl pants and fucking say what you mean and do what you want. You're such an independent woman. You're a strong, independent woman that could take care of yourself, don't need no man. And then you want to walk into a man's house and fucking try and boss him around in his own domicile, his own sanctuary that he takes care of and he's perfectly fucking happy with. And you went, oh, the decorations in here suck. That, well, it's a good thing you don't live here. You don't have to worry about that. You don't, this isn't your house. If you get to stay here a couple of days with me, then, lucky you, not lucky me. I don't get it with women today. That's why I don't date. That's why I stay single. Because of shit like what happened to me in the parking lot. Well, aren't you going to help me? No, walrus. I don't fucking know you. I'm minding my own fucking business. I'm going to continue minding my own business. And it doesn't matter how much you fucking harbor seal bark at me. I'm not going to fucking change my mind about that. You're in a situation because you chose to be in that situation. You are actively choosing to be in that situation. I am not your hero. That is not my job anymore. It is not the 1950s. You women have fought for fucking 80 years for your right to be independent, strong boss bitches. You don't now get to sit there and turn around and go, why doesn't a man do this for me? You can go fuck yourself. Straight up. Everybody says, oh, what does a man bring to the table? Well, okay, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for myself. I own my own fucking home that I paid in cash. I own my own lawn, front yard, backyard. I have a basement with a washer and dryer that I own. I own my own appliances. I have upstairs with 2 bedrooms that I own. All the electronics I want, all of my hobbies, all of my furniture, and I will be perfectly fine for the rest of my life. I can afford my bills. That's what I bring to the table. You ask a woman what she brings to the table, and she goes, I have a vagina. Okay, but the dude has a penis, so, and that's not even what he's bringing to the table. He's bringing all of the things he's built for himself to the table. What are you bringing to the table? Oh, I have boobs. Yeah, no, again, that's not. Well, I spend like $2,000 a month on makeup so I can look pretty. Yeah, you don't look pretty for that dude because that dude don't care. You do that for other women because other women will judge you. In the history of guys, there hasn't been a single guy that has been like, "Oh, you're not wearing enough makeup. Oh, your high heels aren't high enough." No guy cares what guys care about. Like, if you want to bring up, well, I go to the gym every day and I pay a gym membership. I'm bringing that to the table. That's that is okay. That's on par because a guy doesn't want to date a woman that isn't willing to work on herself. Straight up. There's there are guys out and shoot, there's even guys out there that will like you'll find a like that my 600-pound life. There's probably a guy out there that will fuck those 2 sisters, but that's just because he can't find any other woman either because he's a piece of crap. If you're fat, if you're a fat, ugly woman, yeah, guys will fuck you, but that's because they're ugly people on the inside and the outside, and they have no other options. I ain't gonna fuck no fat bitch. I got I I, I may not have any options. I have like fucked up teeth. I don't have options. You could tell me right now, and then you don't have the right to be picky because you're ugly, and you're probably right. but I ain't fucking some. Uh, my body is a roller coaster with a weight limit. There's a weight limit to ride this ride. I weigh 220 pounds. You better weigh about 180, because if you're heavier than that, and Jesus Christ, if you weigh 180, you better be about like fucking 5'9", 5'10", about as tall as me. Because if you're like 5'3" and you weigh 180, your body is shaped like a soccer ball, and that is not attractive. You need to be weight height proportionate, as far as I'm concerned. I'm weight height proportionate, and you were completely right to say you're ugly, fucked up tooth having fucking old ass, handicap ass. You don't have the right to have these demands about who you date. Yeah, I do. I have the same right to have those demands about how I date that women do. The difference is my preferences are more realistic. Okay, I want a woman who's height weight proportionate and likes me. The percentage of finding a woman like that, probably 50-60%. While women want, he has to be over 6 feet tall, he has to make $200,000 a year, he has to fucking have this. Like, they bury themselves with their fucking preferences to the point where they're looking at like 0.0001% of men in the world. My preferences are, don't be a bitch, be fun to hang out with, be nice, and be height weight proportionate, and accept me for who I am. Yeah, I've got way better chances of finding a girlfriend than most women. And the reason I don't have a girlfriend is because most women want that 0.0001% of men. I don't fit in that category. But most women fit into my category. It's really weird. It's a weird world we live in.